welcome back. We're about to tackle one of the biggest, oldest puzzles in psychology, attention. Seriously, what is it? How does it even work? And maybe the most important question, what happens when it just breaks down? Let's dive in. You can't really talk about attention without starting here, with this quote from the legendary psychologist William James. And get this, he wrote it way back in 1890. But it's just so powerful because it nails this two-sided nature of attention. See, it's not just about focusing on something. It's also about actively withdrawing from everything else. It's a choice, right? Okay, so to bring that into the 21st century, a simple way to think about it is this. Attention is basically the mental process of concentrating your effort. That's it. And you've got to think of it like a limited resource, like a battery. You only have so much mental energy and you have to decide where to point it, either at something happening out there in the world, a stimulus, or at something going on inside your own head, a thought. All right, so here's where it gets really interesting. We tend to talk about attention, like it's this one single thing, right? But it's not. It's really more like a toolkit with a bunch of different specialized skills for different jobs. So let's open up that toolkit and see what's inside. First up, we've got selective attention. This is your brain's master filter. It's that incredible ability you have to just zoom in, laser focus on one thing, and push all the other noise, all the other distractions into the background. And the classic example of this, I'm sure you've experienced it, is the cocktail party effect. Just picture it. You're in a super loud, crowded room, people talking everywhere, glasses clinking, but somehow you can tune all of that out and just focus on the one conversation you're having. That's your selective attention working overtime, and it's pretty amazing. Okay, so the next tool in our brain's kit is something called divided attention. And let's be honest, this is what we all try to do, all day, every day. We call it multitasking. It's basically our brain trying to split its focus, to share that limited attention battery across more than one thing at once. But here's the thing, and it's a huge deal. Our ability to truly multitask, well, it's pretty much a myth. Our brains just aren't wired to handle multiple complex tasks at the same time. What we're actually doing is switching back and forth between them really, really fast. And every single switch costs us. It costs us time, it costs us mental sharpness. And this is exactly why something like texting and driving is so incredibly dangerous. Those tiny little delays in focus can have absolutely catastrophic consequences. So, because our attention is this finite resource, sometimes it fails. And it can fail in some pretty surprising ways. And these aren't just you being careless or forgetful. No, these are predictable glitches in the system, and they actually tell us a lot about how our focus really works. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been frantically searching for your keys only to realize they were right there, right in front of you the whole time? Or maybe someone points out something totally obvious in a picture that you just completely missed. If you're nodding along, then congratulations. You've experienced one of these attention glitches firsthand. So these glitches basically come in two main flavors. The first one is called inattentional blindness. This is when you fail to see something that's clearly visible just because your focus is on something else. The classic experiment for this is the one where people are asked to count basketball passes, and they totally mess a person in a full gorilla suit walking right through the middle of the game. Then you have change blindness. This is when you don't notice a change happening in a scene, like in a movie when an actor's shirt suddenly changes color between two shots. Both of these happen for the same reason. We're only actually processing a teeny tiny fraction of all the visual information hitting our eyes. Okay, so if our attention is so limited and glitchy, you might be wondering, how do we ever get through complex situations? Well, that's because our brain has a higher level control system it can call on. Seriously, you can think of it like the CEO of your mind. Think about it. Most of our day, we're just running on autopilot, right? Doing things we've done 1,000 times without even thinking. But what happens when we face something new? Something really difficult? Well, our brain knows it can't just rely on habit. It has to turn off the autopilot and call in the big boss, the executive in charge. And this is it. The official term for this CEO is the Supervisory Attentional System, or SAS for short. This system is, for all intents and purposes, your brain's command center. It's what gives you that deliberate, conscious control you need when you're in a situation that isn't routine. Basically, when the automatic stuff just won't cut it, the SAS steps in. So what's on this CEO's job description? Well, it handles 4 main things. First, planning for the future. Second, spotting and correcting our mistakes.
Third, and this is a big one, overriding our strong habits. Like stopping yourself from eating that extra cookie. And fourth, making those tough decisions.
Okay, let's pull all these threads together now. When you boil it all down, our brain manages its limited attention by constantly switching between two very, very different ways of operating. So you've got these two modes. On one hand, you have automatic pilot. This is fast, it's unconscious, and it barely uses any of your attention resources. Think about tying your shoes. You don't even have to think about it, right? Then, on the other hand, you have manual control. This is slow, it's conscious, it's deliberate, and it eats up a ton of your attention. This is what you're using when you're learning a brand new, complex skill. And really, the secret to being effective is to let that autopilot run the show as much as possible so you can save that precious manual control for the moments when you really need it. And that really brings us to the final and maybe most important question. We are living in a world that is literally designed to hijack our focus at every single turn. Knowing how your attention works is the very first step to taking back control. So I'll leave you with this to think about. In this world of infinite distraction, who's in your driver's seat? Is it your conscious, deliberate CEO, or is it the constant nagging pull of the next notification? Because, as we've seen, that choice, well, it changes everything.